My guest today is David Abrams. He is Executive Assistant to County Executive Stephen Shue, and he's here to talk to us about public access TV. And welcome, David. I want to thank you for joining us today.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
We're just going to take a break, and we'll be right back with Mr. Abrams. And thank you and welcome back to Open Forum. And my special guest for today is Mr. David Abrams. And thank you, David, for being with us today. I want to talk about what it is exactly that you do with the county executive.
Sure. Thank you for having me, first of all. It's great that we have citizens participating in citizen journalism and informing the public about the things they need to know. And that's a little bit related to what I do. I'm a special assistant for County Executive Steve Shue, Anne Arundel County Executive Steve Shue, and he's really made a push to modernize and improve the outreach that we do as a county. And as you know, everything is video related these days. So over the last 3 years, we've done a lot more programming here in Anne Arundel County. And from a public access perspective, we are just getting ready to do a major renovation of our studio. So, so the tools and the things resources that the public can use to create great video content is going to be even better this summer when everything's all said and done. So we're really excited about that.
Okay, so your function is mainly in the media area?
I have.
Or you do like liaison work and work outside the?
Yeah, I always tell people my position is weird, as special assistant. So I'm special, right?
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
I assist.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but the county executive has given me 3 major priorities that I'm supposed to focus on.
Okay. And they
One is the website, which is aacounty.org. We redesigned our site about a year ago. It's a really good website, if I do say so.
Yes, I have.
And our goal there was to make it look very nice, and also to make it so if a citizen's trying to access a service, they can do that in 2 clicks on their phone.
Right, it's very
two taps on
user-friendly.
your phone, and you get to where you need. So that's a major ongoing thing, is to keep the website content fresh and accessible to everyone. The second thing that I do is social media. So I run the Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and all that stuff for the county. And then the third thing that I do is kind of is television production. So everyone's familiar with sort of the production quality you would usually expect from a government agency. It's not. I always tell people it's not the Today Show. Like, we understand it's not the Today Show, but we're doing our best to use the newest techniques and equipment in order to make it look really good, because it has to look good for people to watch it.
Exactly.
So that's what we're trying to do, and I mean, we've produced exponentially more content over the last 3 years than in the past for Anne Arundel County. So we're really proud of that, and it's public meetings. It's we really function like a news bureau, where if something's happening in the community, we go there and we film it, and we take it back and edit it, make it look nice, and try and get people involved in the community is really our goal.
Absolutely. One of my thinking is, have you seen more popularity as far as the cable? I've noticed that more people are beginning to get into cable and what we actually have to offer.
Yeah, I think
as an alternative to what they're seeing on TV now.
Absolutely. Yes, I think more people. I would say more people are engaging with video content. So however they receive that, whether it's cable, whether it's online, you have to be flexible today and create video products that can be bite-sized, can be deployed in all kinds of different ways. It's interesting. We do a show every week here called Week in Review, and it's just a recap of the week, news that applies just to Anne Arundel County. We have a studio guest every week, and it's usually either a county department head or a person in the community, a nonprofit, and the goal is to, we like to help market these very small groups that don't have a budget for a big production. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of times we'll do, a 2-minute video or a 10-minute video versus a 30-minute or an hour-long video, because now people they want things fast, they want it online. But what your viewers may not know is that there's a funding source called Public Education Government, or PEG, that everyone pays for on their cable bill. So if you have Comcast or Verizon or whatever, every month you're paying a little fee on your bill. That money goes into a fund that then goes back to individual counties in order to allow for and create public access programming. So it's actually an interesting thing that it's one of the few things in county government that is a dedicated funding source, that no matter what happens, good years or bad, it's the same amount, and it stays. It's been threatened in the past, and people like yourself who are producing content are important, because you keep this program alive, and I think it's worth having, because it just does so much for people getting the information they need to have, like I said, citizen journalists and people in the public who are willing to go on camera and do the work.
Yes, about this PEG program, finding out about it really for the first time. How do people access that? I mean, what do they need to do? What are the steps they need to take to be a part of the Access program?
Well, it's really important that people do take advantage of it because this is a dedicated funding source, as I said, that people pay on their cable bill. And if nobody uses it, if the public doesn't use it, then maybe it will go away someday. And I think that would be a real mistake because, you know, you see it in television and in cable these days, cable news and stuff like that. It's very corporate, it's very controlled, it's very commercial, and you lose the voices of the people, you know, in the community who are doing important things that matter, and we need to keep that alive. So I'm really glad that resource exists, and I hope it will continue to exist going forward.
And I'm in agreement. I think people really need to know more about it. You know, there was a period where they tried to get rid of public access altogether. And so now that we are aware that we, of course, public, can come and be a part of this, I'm telling you, people will come on down and do this and keep it going so that we can keep speech free, and be transparent about what's happening and make cable access as important as the other stations.
And I view it as an asset because I don't really have a production staff, so to speak. I don't have actors, I don't have on-air talent. I have to kind of steal people from other jobs in county government to do the on-camera work. And so I see it as this is an army of people who are willing to do the legwork and put in the time. You have to take advantage of that. Because otherwise, if you don't have that resource, that's a voice that's stifled. So it's a tremendous benefit, and certainly if folks want to learn video production and create their own shows, our studio is located at 7480 Baltimore Annapolis Boulevard in Glen Burnie, and we're open Monday through Friday. We're also open on Saturday, and you can make an appointment. The number's 410-222-0098. You can call and make an appointment to come in and shoot a show. And if I could also say real quick, I think there's more to, you talked about they were trying to get rid of PEG. I think part of that is because the landscape has changed so much as well. I mean, you know, with the advent of YouTube, you can tape a show in your bedroom if you want to. True. But it is better, as you do, to come into a studio in a controlled environment where the lighting is correct, where you have a green screen, where you can move around and you can do more things in the post-production than you would be able to do at home.
Right.
So it's important to have the facility there. Plus, we have professionals here who know what they're doing. They can help you.
All right. And thank you. It's been wonderful. We're just going to take a break, and we'll be right back with Mr. Abrams in just a moment. And if you would like to be a guest on the Great Blacks in Wax Open Forum, call the number at the bottom of the screen and join us. If you have an interesting anecdote to share with us, or if you have something you want to promote from your community, just give us a call. welcome back. We are sitting here with David Abrams, who is our executive assistant to County Executive Steve Shue. Stephen Shue, I apologize.
Oh, Steve's fine. He's fine with Steve.
Good. You were talking about your show, Weekend Review, and would you tell us a little bit more about exactly what happens there?
It's a lot of fun. Weekend Review is a government-produced news program that we publicize once a week, every Friday morning on Arundel TV. Little plug there. Arundel TV is our Facebook page. We're also on YouTube, and you can also find all of our content on the Anne Arundel County official Facebook page. And basically, it's a news magazine, sort of. It's kind of modeled off of Pardon the Interruption on ESPN with Tony Kornheiser and Mike Wilbon.
Okay.
But basically, we go through the three top stories of the week, and then we have a guest who can be someone from the community. It could be a department head. It could be an expert on some sort of subject matter, like how-to, home security and waterproofing your house and how to be safe in an emergency and all kinds of different things. We have a lot of fun with the show. My co-host Kristen Lagana is a very good co-host, and she is also a musician. So I got lucky that somebody who works for county government happens to have skills that translate to being on camera.
Okay.
I'm always looking for people who sit at a desk in the county government who can get in front of a camera. So if you find anyone, let me know. But
oh, that was wonderful.
Right?
That is so
what do
great.
you think?
Yeah,
Huh?
I think it's great to keep it,
And how about our set? You like our set?
It's awesome.
I mean, it's the same exact place we're sitting right now.
Right.
But the magic of television.
I know that's the beauty of
Right?
it. Yes.
Oh my.
So tell me, Mr. Abrams, how did you get involved into this whole TV production and linked it up with your position with Mr. Shue?
I'm glad you asked me that because sometimes I wonder how I got here. I actually started out as, well, if we go way back, I always wanted to write a book, a creative nonfiction book. Like, I don't know if you've heard of Joan Didion, Slouching Toward Bethlehem, or, The Boys on the Bus,
Right.
books
that.
like that from the 60s. And so I thought, well, I have to learn how to write first, right? So I went to the University of Maryland and I learned, I was a literature major, English major, which everyone told me there's nothing you can do with that. What are you doing? But it worked out okay. And then when I was there, someone introduced me to a former editor for the LA Times who taught at the university, and he talked me into getting my master's degree in journalism. And from there, I worked as a newspaper reporter for 6 years, and then I came to the county. And then after a while, as multimedia started to evolve and the technology changed, I thought, you know what, I could do the same thing, except I can apply it to my work in the government and try to create, newsy information that people can use. So that's kind of how I got there, from reporter to marketing person.
If I'm not too personal, are you from Baltimore?
I am actually from Rockville, Maryland.
Oh,
Beautiful
okay, so you're
Rockville,
in
Maryland. And I moved to Anne Arundel County in 2000-ish. And I could not, once I lived by the water, I said, that's it. I'm staying here forever. or somewhere by the water, I am wedded to it now. So I love it. I love living here. It's a great county. And I'm really honored and pleased to have the opportunity to do what I do, because Steve Shue created this position. It didn't exist before, and he's not a guy who tweets and he's not big on social media, but he was smart enough to understand that that's where things are now, and I'm really grateful for it because it's really given me an opportunity to do some really fun, great things.
Great. Well, we're going to take a break right here.
Okay.
And we're going to come back and talk to you a little bit more about it.
Great. Okay.
Okay, folks, we're going to be right back after a little commercial break. to you, I just want you to share a little bit more about what we talked about with how people can access the studio.
Sure.
And yourself as to, what they would like to do.
Sure. Well, first of all, I have to make my shameless plug. aacounty.org is our home page where you can find out more about our studio. You simply search for the Anne Arundel County Studio on our website. We also are on social media, the Anne Arundel County official Facebook page, and Arundel TV is just video content that we produce here at the studio. We do history documentaries, we do public meetings, we do commercials and PSAs and all kinds of different products here. And I would really encourage people to take advantage of this resource and to come down, call the studio at 410-222-0098 and speak to one of our production guys here. And they're really nice guys. They have a lot of information and knowledge, and they can help you learn the basics of video production. And of course, the studio is open business hours Monday through Friday, and we're also open on Saturday if people have day jobs and they want to come in. This is their weekend hobby. We are open on Saturdays, so please call before so we know you're coming and we can make sure the studio is available, and we'll be happy to help you create your own magic.
Okay, and that's why I call it public access, because you are the public and you have access to this studio.
That's right.
David, I want to thank you for
My pleasure.
being with me.
My pleasure.
Enjoyed talking to you. Love to talk
Same
to
here.
you and have come back again.
I will.
All right.
Absolutely.
You take care. This is Margaret Locklear. Thank you for watching Open Forum in our public access. See you next time. Thank you for joining us. And if you would like to be a guest on the Great Blacks in Wax Open Forum, call the number at the bottom of the screen. Join us. If you have an interesting anecdote to share with us, or if you have something you want to promote from your community, just give us a call.